everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRF race of the day for Friday, November the 27th. Race number 7 at Del Mar. Let's throw up the field for the Grade 2 Hollywood Turf Cup. We're going a mile and a half on turf. Before we get started, I want to remind everybody not to miss the Black Friday sales at DRF.com. Beginning Thanksgiving Day, you can save on your favorite DRF products. Visit shop.drf.com to access. Remember to download free Formulator Pass performances for the race of the day on the Race of the Day event page at DRF.com. Access them. Handicap along with us. Nice to see a big field in this race, Mike. Several horses coming out of the Breeders' Cup Turf. One of them, Arclo, if he makes it. Supposedly he's had some playing problems.
Yeah, it would be nice to see him make it. He's been in very good form lately for these connections. It feels like the blinkers going on has really helped him in his last few starts, Dan.
So the time form US pace projector up on the screen. We're going a mile and a half on the turf. I'm not expecting this race to be run at breakneck speed, but if Acclimate can still run, he's going to make the front. We just haven't seen him since the 2019 Breeders' Cup Turf.
I know. It's unfortunate he's missed so much time. The last time we saw him, he was getting into pretty good form, Dan, and you know that he's capable of getting this distance. I think he's a dangerous horse if he can make the front.
Let's discuss this field in post-position order, beginning with a horse stepping up in class in sharp form. That's the number 1 North County Guy. Let's watch his most recent race. He beat 2 next out winners. The 4th place horse came back to upset a 2X field with a 92 buyer. This horse has good tactical speed. He's going to have to stretch out, but he's run well at this distance in the past, Mike. I think a good trip's coming, but he's going to have to prove his class.
Yeah, I think that's the real question. I don't know that you necessarily have to worry about him getting a mile and a half. I mean, he's run well at a mile and 3/8. I don't know. I think he can get a good trip in here, Dan. I don't know if I really think that he's good enough to beat this field. We'll see. He's going to be a good price.
It's been an interesting road for the 2 Oscar Dominguez, who started his career for Aidan O'Brien in Ireland, ran 4 times on a synthetic surface, came over here, banged around the claiming ranks, was taken for $40,000 by Richard Baltas last February 2019. He won this race last year, so we know he has it in him, but I think this might be a little bit of a tougher spot, and I wonder where he is from a form standpoint. He's a bit of an in-and-outer.
Yeah, and he's also just a horse who doesn't have any early speed at all. So his running style, to me, is the real drawback for him. I mean, I think he's actually a very nice fit in this race. I think he can go with these horses. It's all about what kind of trip he gets.
Baltas has done a fantastic job with Oscar Dominguez. Ditto for Phil D'Amato and the 3 Red King. They took this horse for $35,000 in 2019. He's now a multiple graded stakes winner. He took these connections to the Breeders' Cup Turf. You know, let's take that race with several grains of salt. Kind of chasing wide in a slow-paced race against some of the best horses in the world. He'll do better getting back to some home cooking.
Yeah, he was never going to beat that field last time. His prior 2 races, very, very good. He can go long. I think he can get the right trip in this race. There's plenty to like here.
D'Amato picks up the 4, Say the Word, off this victory in the Grade 1 Northern Dancer up at Woodbine. And ever since this horse was stretched out in distance, he's been feeling his oats with a nice win at Saratoga in for 62.5, a rallying 3rd in the Singspiel, and he just closed these horses down. Now, I don't think it was the strongest edition of the Northern Dancer, but this horse is in very good form.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't, necessarily love the field that he beat last time, but I'm not going to sit here and knock this horse. Then to me, he was cut out to be a pretty nice horse. Maybe things didn't go perfectly for him. When he won that race at Saratoga at a huge price, I personally was not a believer. He had a really fast pace in front of him that day. I thought he took advantage, a great ride from Junior Alvarado to get it done there. But he's run well twice since then, so I'm not going to knock this horse.
Arclo's one of the class horses in this race. Listen, he's a Grade 1 winner. He's banked $2.5 million in the Breeders' Cup Turf last time out. I thought he got a decent trip under Florent Giroux. He saved ground in behind the leaders. He finished mildly in some mild traffic. Those are just too tough. But it's nice to see that the blinkers have kind of waking this horse up a little bit. It looked like he was going a little bit off form. He's back in form. Let's just see if he makes it to the track at Del Mar on Saturday.
I agree. I mean, I was a little surprised that when he came back this year, he just didn't look like, quite the same horse, because he was getting good late last year, became a Grade 1 winner, ran a lot better than it looks in the Breeders' Cup last year with a really tough trip. So it's just really surprising to me that it felt like maybe he was off form a little. The blinkers and his last 2 races have gotten this horse back on track. He was good winning 2 back.
D'Amato's going to send out the 6 Gregorian Chant. This is a horse stretching way out in distance off this performance, a 3rd place effort in the restricted Lure Stakes. Didn't really see the excuse in this race, Mike, going a mile. I mean, I guess he was up close to a fast pace, but he's going to have to do a lot better. This is a way tougher field at a much longer distance.
Yeah, and it's not like there's no other speed in the race either, so I don't know what kind of trip he's going to get. I didn't like his last race, even though he got a new top figure, and I didn't really want to bet him back in here.
Right next door is his stablemate, the 7 Acclimate. And if Acclimate, as we said in the opener, can still kick a little bit, he's going to go right to the front as he did in the 2019 Breeders' Cup Turf. D'Amato got this horse very good in the summer of 2019, turning this reformed claimer into a graded stakes horse. But who knows what you're going to get off a year-plus layoff.
Yeah, it was just too tough for me to, make a real case for him. I mean, again, his races when we last saw him, I thought were very good, and the distance is no problem for him. I mean, I think he'll make the lead, Dan. I'm assuming he can still run, or else he wouldn't be in here. And if he can, I'll assume he'll make the lead in here. I'm a little bit afraid of this horse.
I wonder if Graham Motion has something here with the 8 Lucario, the winner of the German Derby in 2019. He's only started twice this year. Here's his North American debut in the Joe Hirsch Turf Classic, where he caught the in-form gate-to-wire winner Channelmaker. Boy, Channelmaker came back, ran a corker in the Breeders' Cup Turf, third with a 108 Beyer speed figure. Lucario kicked on in the end. We know these German horses are very stoutly bred. There should be some pace for him to run at.
Yeah, I agree with all that stuff. His form is actually pretty good. And when he got over here last time, I thought he ran well. Around that final turn of that race, he had Sadler's Joy right to his outside. So this horse really couldn't get clear until the top of the stretch. I thought he put in a nice run at the end of that race.
Ward and Jerry is the number 9, another horse that had been offered for a tag in the summer of 2019. He was third in this race last year, actually off a little bit of a layoff, similar layoff as to this year. He likes to be close to the pace, however, and if this pace quickens up, I wonder where he fits with these horses from a class perspective going 1.5 miles.
Yeah, I didn't think he would be complete shocker in this race if he won or ran very well and was there at the end, but I think trip is going to be very important to this horse.
Maybe the 10 Proud Pedro was compromised by like a pace last time out, and United's a very good horse who just got loose on an easy lead. There really wasn't anything any of those horses could do against him from the back of the pack. I wish he could have run on a little bit more at the end, but co-career best Beyer speed figure, he's paired him up now, 97s.
Yeah, listen, he wasn't going to win that race, but I'm with you. I kind of wish I'd seen a little bit more run from him late in that race because he saved a lot of ground. I thought he got overall a very good trip in there and just wasn't very good. On the other hand, his last 3 starts since they've stretched him out, he's shown he can handle distance.
Marquis Water was beaten less than 2 lengths in this race in 2018, but still, this is a pretty ambitious spot for Peter Urton. His most recent start, we saw it, was the North County Guy replay. He was in for 62.5, and his first start off a year-plus layoff didn't do much running. Now they're stepping him way up.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see what we get here second off the layoff. I mean, I was a little bit of a fan of this horse's last year. I thought he ran really well to win the Whittingham, but he missed a lot of time. We'll see. They're going to stretch him back out here. He's got a race or two that make him tough in here.
We talked about United controlling the pace. Let's watch that John Henry Turf Championship where he's in front. I like the ride. Drayden Van Dyke gave another mystery here. Stayed inside, and I think that was key for him. He rallies in between horses late to run third. Now, this Beyer speed figure, boy, a 100 Beyer, maybe he was just kind of towed to that number by United, but I think this horse might be getting a little bit better, Mike, and I like him with extra distance. It's just a lousy post Mike Smith's going to have to navigate from.
Yeah, true enough. I mean, his last 2 races are fine. I thought he ran okay last time. I wasn't blown away by the performance, but I thought he ran fine. He's been huge prices in his first 2 starts from MacArthur. You're going to get that kind of price this time, I don't think.
Well, I guess understandably so. I mean, 1 win against Statebreds at Arlington back in August of 2019, 1 win against the Fairgrounds optional claimers. We'll see where he fits from a class perspective. We take a look at our top picks here. That's where I'm going. I think he's going to be a price. I think he's lightly raced enough as a 4-year-old getting ready to turn 5 that he might have another forward move in him. I think the price is going to be right in this race. Obviously, Arklow and Lucario, they're the horses to beat.
Yeah, but a lot of different ways to go. You're right. And I did put Arklow on top just because I like his last 2 races, and I think he is back in form. But there were a lot of different ways to go in here. If Arklow doesn't make it out for whatever reason, I was a little interested in Oscar Dominguez, Dan. I know that he needs a trip. He has no speed at all. I'm hoping he gets a little bit something to run at here. I think this horse is pretty good.
Always been a fan of that horse, and he should get a little bit of pace. And again, he ran so well in this race last year. I'll go with another mystery. Mike goes with Arklow. Keep an eye out for Oscar Dominguez in your Friday race of the day. It's the Hollywood Turf Cup. Best of luck.